there, Simpli subscribers. Welcome back to the Simpli Stacy YouTube channel. It's your girl Stacy. In today's video, I'm super excited about, and I hope you guys are too. We are talking personal finances. So chapter 6 of Secure Success, the book I wrote, A Proven Plan to Prospering Personally and Professionally, is finances. So I put my personal finances under that topic of self-care. So when we're talking about ourselves, in order for us to help others, everything about our life has to be on point. We can't be drained. We can't be mentally exhausted. We can't be pouring from an empty cup. So we're talking personal finances, and we're talking about rules of personal finances that you guys should incorporate today if you don't already know them. Go ahead and list some of the rules that you've heard before. Some of the rules you've heard over the years, the rules you've been taught. We're going to list some and then let me know if you've heard of these before. Let's get to it. Number 1 is to live below your means. I know you've heard it before. I know people say it all the time. But the truth of the matter is, if you are spending more than you make, if your expenses exceed your income, then you are living beyond your means. And you need to be living below your means, meaning that there is extra on top, not negative. Okay? So live within. I'm going to say within. We're not going to say beneath. We'll say within. In theory, you could make exactly what your expenses are, right? That's equal to. However, if that is the case and an emergency arises, you don't have any wiggle room. Now you're in a bind. Now you need help. Now you need to ask someone else. Maybe get a GoFundMe. I don't know. Get a loan. Whatever it is, if you're living above your means or right at your means, then it's never going to be a good scenario. So number 1, please guys, live below your means. Make sure that you are spending less than you bring in. Okay, that's very important. The next thing is to save 10% of all of the money you get, income, gifts, any of that stuff. So how I do it is I give 10% to God. So I tithe 10%. The next 10% is for myself, which I put in my savings account. And then the rest of it I pay bills with. I use for everyday expenses and stuff like that. At least save 10%. Now, you may be able to save way more depending on how your finances are set up, how your expenses are set up. However, at least try to give yourself 10%. You work hard for your money, right? You do. So you're entitled to save some for yourself and not give it all away to a debt collector or a lender every single paycheck. Okay, another thing that you want to do, this is another rule of finance, is you want to track your spending. Okay? I'm going to say there are people who don't have to track their spending. When you just have over an abundance of money and funds, you can go anywhere and spend money and you don't have to balance a checkbook or track where your spending is. However, I'm going to venture to say that those of us watching the Simpli Stacy YouTube channel are not in that boat. Even myself, I make a nice sum of money. However, there are still things that I have to track and make sure that I have the funds when a bill comes through, because I do sometimes transfer to my savings account, so I don't have so much in my checking account and then a huge expense may come through. So I still have to track what I'm spending, and also I still budget. I feel like I don't think I would stop unless I won the lottery for millions of dollars. Because then, of course, like, who needs that? I'm just kidding. A lot of people still need to pay taxes when they win the lottery and different things. So you still need to check your finances, but it wouldn't be one of those constant things if you just had overflow, abundance of wealth, a lot of money. However, little old me, I'm still tracking my spending. And if you want to improve your personal finances, you should track your spending as well. How, you may ask? Create a budget. Okay, so you want to create a budget and not just create one. It's not for show. You want to follow the budget. Okay, so not just create a budget, but also to follow that budget. Like I said, I'm on a budget. I'm remodeling. I don't know if you guys have seen any of my videos on decorating my home, but I am doing one room at a time because I am on a budget. Okay, so I took care of my office space, which you guys are viewing right now. That was my first thing. And now I'm on to the master bedroom. Why? Because I don't have millions of dollars to just go and buy all new furniture all at once. Although I could afford it, I want to make sure that I am paying for it all, not having it too much on credit unless it's just putting it on credit and then paying it off with my next check or something of that nature. That's what I'm doing. My goal is financial freedom, and these personal finance rules that we're talking about now will help you to get your personal finances in order and to help you get to reach financial freedom. Okay? That's the goal. Okay, next thing is, if you're in the market to purchase a home, make sure that you are getting a home that you can actually afford. Many times a bank will approve you for a number, right? Say $500,000 home, you're approved at it because of how much you make and all of this, but you personally know what it is you can afford on a monthly basis. And don't let the bank tell you what you can afford if internally you know that that is not a number that you're comfortable paying a month. So that's something you want to do. You want to check out mortgage calculators. You want to talk to your realtor. You want to make sure that whatever it is you pay for a home, whatever that mortgage is, you can comfortably handle it. I'd even say if you were doing this with a spouse or significant other, you're moving in with somebody, I would use one income, maybe the person with the largest income, just in case something happens and the other person is without, you guys would still be able to afford your place. That's just me talking, but I think you should definitely research how much you'll be paying after it's all said and done and see if you feel comfortable with that number, if you're confident that you can do it, if you don't feel like you'll be strained or stressed. No one wants to be house poor, okay? House poor, car poor, any of that. Do you know what that means? So when you're house poor or car poor, means you may be living in a mansion, you may have the best ride out there, you're paying astronomical amounts a month for that, and guess what? Now you can't go traveling, you can't eat out at fancy restaurants, you can't hang out with your friends. Your budget is so tight because you're spending all of your money on your home and on your car that you can't enjoy life. That's no way to live. So you want to make sure that you have something affordable so that you still have the funds when you need them to do other things that you enjoy doing. Okay? The next thing is to pay off your high interest debt. The financial rules are the avalanche method. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. We will talk about that in depth. We'll talk about different ways to pay off debt, including avalanche and snowball and a combination. But the one I'm talking about, paying off high interest debt first, that's all a part of the avalanche method of paying down debt. And basically what it says is if you have credit cards with a high interest rate, you want to get those paid off. Why? Because you're accruing interest at a higher rate on those particular cards, loans, debt. So you want to get those paid down so that you're not accumulating all that interest and having to pay way more than whatever it is cost in the first place. Okay, another rule to personal finances, another personal finance rule is to set long-term and short-term goals. You want to have things that you can mark off so that you can feel a sense of accomplishment and you can keep moving to the next thing. Now, on the flip side, if you only have long-term goals set, it may take forever to achieve those goals. You may just say, forget this, I've had it, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. But if you have those small victories along the way, those short-term goals, then you'll see your progress, you'll feel good about the progress, and you'll keep pushing along. Okay, guys. The next thing you want to do is you want to maximize your employees' retirement plan. You want to make sure that you are contributing to that plan because when it's time to retire, you want to be able to. Some people have the age and not the years. They have the years and not the age. But when you have both, that is where you can retire. However, sometimes we don't plan far enough in advance to retire. So start adding to your employer's retirement plan. My employee matches. So at least give whatever it is that they match. So say for instance with my employer, they match I think 5%. So if nothing else, I am going to invest 5% each and every year so they can match it. And now 10% of my salary is in my retirement fund. Do not miss out on an employee match. Do not miss out on an employee match. One more time for those in the back. Do not miss out on an employee match, okay? You want to make sure that you set yourself up for financial freedom, not only right now, but in the future as well. You want to be able to have enough money to live off of comfortably for the remainder of your years without having to get another job or without having to stress about where your next check, money, bill, mortgage, any of that stuff is coming from. So definitely maximize your employer's retirement plan. Another personal finance rule that you want to make sure that you are following is to take out some life insurance. You do not want to leave your loved ones with the burden of burying you if something unforeseen happens or life happens. We are in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying at a rapid rate due to the coronavirus. That is just one instance. People die from car accidents, unplanned things all the time. And if you don't have life insurance, somebody is going to be left with the cost of burying you. I personally don't want to put that on my family. So I know that we're in an era of GoFundMe pages, but why leave it up to that? Why not just invest in a life insurance policy so that your family can bury you without the burden of having to come out of pocket, find or scrounge up money? I mean, guys, listen. That's your responsibility. Unless you put it somewhere in a will, which is the last and final thing. Unless you put it somewhere in a will that you just want to be cremated, which costs little to nothing. You have a couple of dollars saved up to do that. Go ahead and take out some life insurance. You never know, you might need it. Especially if you're married, you have children. If you have a family like that and you don't have funds in your account to take care of it, then definitely get some life insurance. Okay, the last thing is an emergency plan. You want to have a way to take care of your family if something unforeseen happens, such as you losing your job, maybe you do pass away. Any of those things, you want a contingency plan. You want to make sure you have funds saved up. You want to make sure that your finances are in order so that they're not left with your debt that they have to repay, that they didn't even take out or benefit from whatever it is the debt came from. So those are just some of the rules for personal finance. We can get into some of those a little bit more in detail, especially with the ways to pay off debt, such as the snowball method, the avalanche method, and the combination of the two. Let me know below if you guys want to learn how you can pay off debt fast, if you guys want to learn more about the different ways to pay off debt. We can talk about it all. We've already had a video on side hustles you can start in 2021. Listen, those side hustles can help you pay down debt fast. That's just one avenue. There are many more, and we can definitely talk about it on this channel. Thank you guys so much for joining. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can always be notified each and every time I post a new video. We have so many more like this coming at you. If you have not yet purchased Secure Success, a proven plan to prospering personally and professionally, the link is in the bio below. It is available on Amazon online, on Barnes & Noble online, and also on Walmart online, probably wherever books are sold. If you can purchase them online, you can purchase that book. And yes, stay tuned for more content coming your way.